Hello everybody, this is Sandy LaMantia with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Elite Properties, and welcome again to First Time Homebuyer Friday. So I just kind of want to take a minute to recap some of the things that we've talked about over the past few weeks, and to also thank John Crute with US Bank Home Mortgage for joining us and giving us his information on how to buy your first home. So we've talked about the importance of a pre-approval. We've talked about the importance of checking your credit or having the lender check your credit to make sure that you are in line with being able to purchase a home. We've talked about the importance of knowing what all your home payment is going to include, whether or not it's taxes and insurance. But most importantly too is we've also mentioned about the fact that there are so many down payment option programs out there that are especially good for somebody who's thinking about buying their first home this year. So if you've missed any of these tips or any of these segments, please make sure that you just go to my website, which is sandylamantia.com, and right under videos you can go back and you can check these. But most importantly, if you have any further questions, you would probably want to call John so that he can go over some of these tips that we've talked about. But in the meantime, John, I want to again thank you for all your time, and just to see if there's something else you'd like to add.
Well, I think it can be a confusing project at best for some people. You and I do this all the time.
Right.
Traditional home buyer might buy a home, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times at most in their lifetime.
Could be.
But especially first-time buyers, there's so much to know, and I'm kind of a junkie on some of this stuff, and I love to take time and explain things to people. Talked to a guy yesterday, very financial literate person, financial background, and first-time buyer, and he said out flat to me, he says, "Hey, I've never done this before." He says, I need some guidance here. How much can I afford? What's the most payment you can approve me for? What's the most expensive home you can approve me for? It turned out in his case, we could approve him for a whole lot more than he wanted payment. Ideal scenario for me is when the limitation that a borrower has is their own limitation of how much they want their payment to be, because then we have a lot of options to work with. But we can work with it in many different ways. But I just love talking with people and just explaining the whole scenario to them and getting them comfortable with the process. And that makes it a good process all the way through once they understand it from the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's great too, because there are so many times that I meet people that want to go look for a home. They have not gone through the pre-approval process, and they really don't know the difference between the payment and how much home that they can actually purchase. And sometimes it's really driven by the amount of payment that they want to make. So it's really important, and that's why I always refer people to John to be able to go over that. So again, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us on these past few Fridays. And again, if you have not caught one of the segments and you'd like to go back and catch up on them, make sure you visit my website at sandylamantia.com and join us again in the near future for other segments that we're going to have. So thank you. Have a great Friday.